Well, today's the 7th of July, it's 2025 and we're in St. Peter Port in Guernsey. We're just going to have a little walk, sort of south I suppose, standing by some yellow telephone boxes. I can remember when I first came to Guernsey, I always thought the yellow telephone boxes were strange. They look as though they need a little bit of a paint, but I can't imagine many people use them anymore. And there's Castle Cornet. There's a cruise ship in there. That's a huge one. There was a huge one I think on Saturday. And we're just going to head this way. It's very breezy, very windy. And there's lots of things around about the occupation when the islands, all the Channel Islands were occupied by the German forces, and so from 1940 to 1945. And lots of posters, lots of bunting, lots of things up to celebrate Liberation Day, which was in May. And this is like the bus terminus around here. So it's where people come and get the buses pretty much anywhere you want to go on the island. We've not tried it yet, but that's on our to-do list, is to get on a bus and to go and visit some different parts of the island. I seem to remember that when we were here before, you'd go somewhere and then when you wanted to go back to St. Peter Port, it just said to town or town, because that's it. St. Peter Port is town. Across there, one we noticed yesterday when we were walking around was the yacht hotel that was there when we came. And we used to go and have, like, again, the equivalent of a menu del dia there. They used to do nice food, I seem to remember, but again, that's 40 years ago. It doesn't quite look the same as it did then, but it's a long, long time ago. So here's all the buses. Somehow need to cross over somewhere. Well, we've managed to make it over to the seaside now, and it's even more windy here, as you can imagine. And we've got a relatively low tide. Be interesting to see how high the tide comes later on. In the distance we can see some of the islands that you can visit. I think that one is Sark. And then a little bit to the left, hidden behind the castle, is Herm.
We used to go to Shell Beach on one of them.
Yeah, Herm, we go to Shell Beach.
Hanging basket in shells on, remember?
No. My goodness, it's a long time ago. Coming along here now to the road sort of forks, and one goes up and one goes just along the coast, and the one that goes up is referred to as the Val de Terre. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's how I've always pronounced it. Anyway, the Val de Terre was somewhere we used to come, and we used to bring the boys who were camping with us, and we used to position ourselves part way up the hill in time in August, and they'd have the races up there. And sometimes it would be motorbikes, sometimes it would be go-karts, or even some sports cars. And if you got yourself on a good corner, you'd see some really quite fast action. So I had to close the road for that. And then the road to the left, which is where we're going to go today, leads to some swimming pools. At least there used to be, so I'm very curious to see if the swimming pools are still there. Because they're quite strange or unusual, different sorts of swimming pools to the sort of ones that we go to, which are municipal ones in Palma and Mallorca. Yeah, this is all new. All of this is very new
Wasn't there a
compared.
hop factory we used to come to as well?
Oh, I think now you say that,
I remember the
I
smell
can
of them.
smell it. Yeah. Okay.
Somewhere, I don't know where it was. It was here in Guernsey, wasn't it?
Oh, having said that, you spotted it. Well, it says brewery across the road. So maybe that was it.
It's not anymore.
No. The beer that they had in those days was called Pony Ales, and I used to drink it, but I didn't particularly like it. I had to suffer in those days. Yeah, so that, I'm guessing, now has been changed into apartments. Just looking down onto the beach here. This is, I don't know what the name of this one is. I suppose I should do. It's not really a beach where people would come and go swimming, I don't think. There's lots of... I've just seen a sign which says Havelet, so I'm guessing that's what the name of this beach is called. And there it is, Lavallet des Terres. And I can remember also, I used to drive down here. We had minibuses. In those days, schools used to have minibuses with side seating, and they used to seat 17. And in the early days, Anita was the one that used to drive the minibuses, or a minibus.
The green one.
I hadn't passed my driving test then, and then later on I drove the white one. But we used to come down here. It was where we were able to park. Parking, there's no paid parking, no parking meters, no paid parking lots that I know of.
What, in the whole island?
Yeah. But there are parking restrictions, so you have to have a clock. And the clock displays your time of arrival. And then the sign, which is like this one, will tell you how long you can park for at a particular time. So it's Castle Cornet. We're just walking along here. Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Breezy, isn't it? Everybody can take off in a minute. Yeah.
And I suppose, depending on what time you got here in the day, is how far along it was before you could actually park your vehicle. We've got minibuses, so they were quite large vehicles. But in those days, there were a lot less cars on the road. I imagine it's a bit of an issue these days. It's where people can park their cars. And there's a little walk on the top there. So windy. Can you see our hotel? I can see one which says Clifton Hall. Can't see ours.
Is it that one there? Is it chimney?
Maybe. Diane asked me why we didn't get the plane directly from Palma to Guernsey, and I must say I didn't even think about looking for that. Yet someone had told me a year or two ago that there was a direct flight and that they'd actually used it. This survey map was lost for 150 years before being found during refurbishment at the St. Peter Port Constable's office. Yeah, so I never actually looked for direct flights, but afterwards I did have a look this morning and looked at just a couple of dates, like the corresponding dates that we want to fly, and there were no direct flights. There were flights via somewhere, probably via Southampton or Gatwick or somewhere.
What are the direct ones?
Well, I need to investigate further, but I think they're on very limited days, and the company that runs them I don't think is the most reliable. Apparently, if you want to go to Jersey, there are, I don't know, I'm going to say EasyJet and Ryanair, but I don't know if that's correct, but there are alternatives to the States flying companies. These buildings, I think, were open when we were last here. This is, well, they're toilets, but they're obviously no longer toilets.
Well, I've seen no advert for what we're going to see, so maybe it's not along this road anymore.
Let's go and see if we've got a swimming pool, because this is one thing, I can't remember whether we ever actually used these swimming pools, but pool safety. And this is one of the swimming pools. And these swimming pools are seawater swimming pools, and they're open to the public. And it's open today, and there's nobody using it at all. And it fills up with seawater, so the sea comes over, splashes over the top, fills it up with some fresh seawater. I don't ever remember using them, but I always remember that they were here. And this is another one a little bit further round. And that walk up there is actually, it would be quite pleasant if it wasn't so breezy. And some benches on the side where you can overlook the castle and the harbour. So all along here, the sign says Disc.
So where are all these cars? Where do they go?
These cars?
Yeah.
People park here for the day or park here while they go into town for... Little walk down there. Again, talking about the pool safety, some nice benches to sit on overlooking the sea. There's people working, actually volunteers, St. Peter Port volunteers.
Buses come along here?
I don't think so. I think it's cars. And I'm pretty sure that we used to carry on walking along this way with the boys, and we'd take them to Fermain, which is first biggish beach as you go around. A lot of people catch the ferry. There's a little ferry that used to take you from the harbour here in St. Peter Port round to Fermain. And there we go, there's a parking space, look. I'll fit the minibus in there, nearly. Anita wasn't sure I was on the right track.
There were no signs at the end of the road for it, were there?
And it's a bit of hit and miss whether it's open or not as well. And there's the cruise ship that's in, which is by Majorca standards, it's actually quite a small one. Right next to Castle Cornet, sorry. That's the Lavallet Underground Military Museum, which certainly we never went into when we came here, so I don't even know if it existed then. I'm sure they blocked it because it was it's German underground spaces. This is. Can you see how the bushes are being blown around? Well, that's how we're being blown around as well. And And I've got a bit of a lookout point up here. And nice looking garden, it's been well tended. Oh, and look at that, isn't that lovely? Nice bench. The lion and the puffin. It's the children's whisper seat.
Let's take a picture of it on that.
And when we talk of the Channel Islands, we talk about Guernsey and Jersey, and then the smaller islands, Alderney, Sark, Herm and the like. But there are hundreds and hundreds of little islets, all dotted around, and it must be a real navigation problem. But here's another one of those swimming pools that I was mentioning, and this one's actually got people swimming in it. Again, another seawater filled swimming pool. There's another one just around there. And then the path. So I wasn't completely wrong. I must go and investigate in a moment. But there is a clifftop path, and I'm sure that will take you eventually around to Fermain. And just there, I don't know if you can see that, I'll take a photograph in a moment, but I just think that's one of the German lookouts. The island, all around the coast, were all the German lookout points, fortifications, all made out of concrete. When I first came here in the early 1970s, they were mostly open, and it used to be great fun playing, investigating and reading or seeing all the German writing on the walls in there. Well, I'm just following the signs now, which cafe and pools down here. I'm amazed my hat hasn't blown off actually. Oh, and you can get a coffee by the looks of things. So, welcome to the bathing pools. Viva Lavallet is Guernsey charity established in 2019 to regenerate the facilities serving the bathing pools. Our vision is for the bathing pools to be a vibrant destination where everyone can feel welcome and valued, a place where people's lives are improved. Any profits will be reinvested in the facilities surrounding the area. For more information, Oh, we just found another one of these dolphins. This one's number 19.
Yeah.
Walking in the breeze by the sea, Castle Cornet standing proud and free. A cruise ship whispers near the shore, its sails are stories forevermore. Oh, often rise to claim the tide, Governor's spirit you cannot hide. Guernsey whispers your name so clear, the Channel Islands hold you near. Distant Herm and Sark they call, islands painted by the seagulls draw. The ocean hums a secret tune underneath the silver moon. Oh, often rise to claim the tide, Governor's spirit you cannot hide. Guernsey whispers your name so clear, the Channel Islands hold you near. The waves remember what history forgot, your name etched in every single thought. Through misty shores and rugged stones, a tale